Influential Brands for Entrepreneurs. What is going on? This is Andrew, the founder of this group. And today we're going to talk about how to find your potential patients and clients on Instagram. Those of you guys that don't know, I am a physical therapist by trade, but I help people grow their brands online with social media. And I don't have my own practice, my brick and mortar practice. This is what the strategies that I'm going to talk about today is going to be for mainly people who have brick and mortar business, a PT clinic, but this is applicable to the online world as well. And basically how I go about finding my own clients and patients as well, and how you can go about it for your business, whether you're about to start or whether you have your own business that's going already. It's going to, just because of a lot of the messages that I've been getting, a lot more questions and more specific stuff as I am helping a lot more people out with their with their Instagram and everything with that. So there's this a special announcement that I want to have at the end. If you guys stay on it, and if you guys can't stay on the whole time, that's totally okay as well. And I will you can cast a replay on it as well. Basically, if you guys have you guys seen the video I talked about the 5 components that you need for your Instagram bio? So before going through and doing the strategies, there's 2 main things that we're going to talk about today of how to go about finding them, and then what to do after you find your potential patients and clients, right? So if you guys need to have your profile set up appropriately first, right? Because when you start finding people, when you start commenting and engaging, talking to other people on Instagram, you want people to, when they click on your page, you want them to know what you're about, right? So using it as a funnel, right? So when people are seeing your page and they click on your page, they need to know exactly what you're about within 5 seconds, right? So similar to a website, similar to a sales page or anything like that, you need people just to call them out and be like, okay, cool, this person can help me with back pain. This person can help me go back to running. This person can help me with dancers. Get that profile right. Yes, sir. So getting that profile set up first, because if you're doing a lot of this other stuff and you get motivational quotes or something about high school on there or whatever it is, right? So you need to have that set up. So there's 5 steps to it. I'm not going to go over it today, but I'm going to go through how I would go about it if I had my own business, brick and mortar business, my own PT business, how I would go about finding potential people, right? So I'm here in Tampa, Tampa Bay area, just north of St. Pete, and in between St. Pete and Clearwater. So I'm in Largo right now at this time. So I'm going to just pick my area that I'm going to use with, let's say I have a business here. Let's do this. Rebecca, are you on? Rebecca? So I'm probably gonna, just because I know you're starting off with your Instagram lately. You've been crushing it. You're doing well. You're working with runners. I met Rebecca actually when she was was it her last week there, my first week there at a clinic that we used to work at in Charleston. So it was her last week, and we just have reconnected after that. So we just kind of maybe had a few conversations with each other, and finding each other on the small world, PT world. But I know that she's working with runners, and she's eventually going to move down here, so to the area. So let's say for her, she's about to start her business whenever she moves down here to Tampa Bay area, and is trying to work with runners, right? So how would you go about doing that? So you guys can see my screen, okay? All right, so the first thing is having your profile set up, right? So basically, this is my Instagram profile and everything. Basically, the main 5 things is having your name, right? Your logo, the bio, the highlights, call to action, and having your URL, right? So those are the 5 things that I have things set up for my page. And this is a little bit different. I think I can do everything on the desktop version. They're getting more desktop friendly with this. But let's say I want to work with runners, right? So Rebecca, I forgot your handle, the running RX, right? So her niche, right? Helping beginning and intermediate runners achieve running goals, right? So she's calling out beginning and intermediate runners, so whatever their running goals are. She has a link and everything on there. Dr. Rebecca, the running RX. Let's go through here. Looks good. Okay. So let's say I want to work with runners, right? So with the brick and mortar business, you want to find people that are local to you, right? There's no point if you're a brick and mortar business and I'm here in Tampa area, and then trying to find people in Seattle, right? So there's two things how two ways how to find people, right? So first of all, I'm going to show you how to find people. Um, Looking for hashtags and then looking at businesses, right? Because you need to figure out where your audience is, right? So what hashtags are you looking for? So what hashtags do you think they're following? What hashtags do you think they're using on their own posts when they're posting and who they're following and everything with that, right? So with this, finding hashtags that runners use. So if you're a physical therapist and you're working with runners, you're probably not going to look up like running PT, running physio. Anything related to that is probably for other running PTs, right? So they're not going to probably follow that for the most part, right? Because people don't even know what physios do, what PTs do. So like what hashtags are runners using? So that's one way. Finding what hashtags that local hashtags, and then trying to find a combination of local running hashtags, right? So runners of like St. Pete, runners of Clearwater, runners of Tampa, right? So the city that you're in, sometimes if you're in a really, really big city, know like the boroughs that you're in as well. Because usually if you're a big touristy area like New York City, Chicago, Atlanta, LA, you're probably gonna have a bunch of people using hashtags and anything like that's related to like those big cities and tagging those posts, and like they may be tourists, right? So find like the boroughs. Like for me, I live in like I said, it's Tampa, St. Pete area, but I know like say Pinellas Park, right, or Gulfport. Like those are like small little boroughs in here, downtown St. Pete. Most people probably won't tag downtown like of an area. And in a city, they'll probably just tag like the big city when they're using those hashtags, right? So so that's one way to do it, right? So because runners in general, right? So if we just do runners, right? Runners of Instagram. You see 20 million runners of Instagram, 5 million. So if I go here, this is going to be a really, really, really big hashtag and all these runners and stuff on here, right? So if I click on somebody, right? I can't see. Like, I can't tell where they're at, right? So if I click on their page, Crohn's Fit, and if you're a brick and mortar business, it's going to be a little harder to see, like, filter through all these people, right? So usually you have the top 9 posts here, right? You can see what, like, pictures that are attractive for these runners, running pose here. Looking at whatever 2 stopwatches, of course, people without their clothes on, tying their shoes and stuff like that, right? So that's usually the top post, right? So you can see these are usually highly engaged stuff. And like here, it's just gonna be too hard to find this, right? So like I honestly haven't checked this yet. So let's say runners of St. Pete. Okay, maybe that's only 2 there, right? So you can see there's only 2 posts. Runners of Tampa, right? So there's 41 posts there, right? So if I'm in Tampa and I want to work with runners for my physical therapy practice, right? So I know people here in Tampa, right? So I don't think there's another Tampa Bay in the U.S. So let's see here, right? So this person is a runner. So Bayshore Boulevard, that's an area down here 22 weeks ago. So I can click on Miss Haley Duke here. If I end up bumping into somebody on here that we mutually know, sorry, you guys are being shown on here, but you guys are all public, right? So Haley here is looking at, so she definitely has a bunch of running posts and everything here. So for her, I'll probably go follow her, right? So for me as a business owner, you need to find those people first, right? So runners of Tampa. So I found that out. So it's 47 posts. Find someone on there. So far, does that make sense, right? So if you go just big general hashtag, especially like a running or anything like that, it's gonna be just so hard because there's so many people. So trying to find the local hashtags of your niche that you're working with, and what I really like is finding people that have Instagram stories, right? So for her, may or may not with the feed. So this was whatever, I think it's out 2 days ago. 2 days ago, right? So 2 days ago, she posts pretty frequently. It looks like 5 days ago. So every 3 days or so, she probably posts. A week ago, right? So you kind of see that she posts relatively frequently, right? Every 2 or 3 days. So for her, I would probably follow her. the reason why I like people who post stories, if you guys don't know, like people who have this little ring around there, like little yellowish, oranges, pink, purple ring, those Instagram colors, I will click on there, right? I'm no, just a heads up, I don't know what I'm going in for, right? So tacos and tequila, right? So I won't. So you can see some of the stuff that she posts. The reason why I like people who have Instagram stories, right? So you can see that she posts a lot. So that means she's probably checking her phone a lot, right?
Done.
So going through there, so I'm gonna have to listen to that. But basically, when you know people who post a lot of Instagram stories, they're on their phone a lot. They're probably posting pretty frequently. So when you message them, when you comment on their stuff, they're probably gonna see it. For her, she has 4,900 followers, right? So a decent following, not too big, where she's not gonna check her comments and her, her DMs and stuff, right? So if you message her, if you comment her stuff, she's probably gonna see it, right? And I also like people who have Instagram stories or that are in your local hashtags. I like messaging people who have relatively lower engagement, lower to middle engagement, right? So people who have like thousands of likes and like hundreds of comments, they're like this is gonna be lost, right? So notifications gonna be out crazy. They're probably turning off the notification. With her, she's getting 14, 23 comments, 30 comments, right? And for her, let's just check it out, right? So for her, she replies to all of them, right? Minus this person. Love this picture. It looks like a general post, right? Let's collab, DM us. She's not gonna respond to those people, right? I've been nothing on the road. So this person legit is like commenting on her stuff. We're still in lockdown mode here. Where the people may gather soon. I'm not sure. I didn't read her post, right? So she's like, so she comments. She replies to a lot of her comments, as you can see. Unless you're spamming her like this, collab. Yeah, she's not gonna care about that, right? So don't do that, right? Don't spam them. No, hey, collab. Literally, go read the post. This is what I would do. Okay? Do you guys want to know what I do for, like how to comment and how to message people? So far, like I've showed one way, right? So finding local hashtags that your business is in, follow them, right? If someone's taking notes, Carrie, I don't know if I'm not trying to volunteer you, but anyone want to take notes and just put in the comment section as we're going along. So it makes sense. I talk really fast, so sometimes my brain just jumps really quick. So if you need me to slow down or anything like that. So with this, finding the local hashtags, finding lower to middle engaged accounts, people who post on their stories, she's replying to all of her comments unless you spam her. Like, don't be like, cool picture, cool video, cool post, right? Like, legit, go read this. I know this is a little bit longer, right? So today, Nature Parks, the trails are officially back open in Tampa. If you guys knew that. Maybe a tad bit excited. So she's talking about like all this stuff, right? My user running routes have been overwhelmed, pedestrians, cyclists, since it's all started. So I'm hoping this phase of reopening will encourage some of those locals to disperse on locations, blah, blah, blah. Does this make me a bad person, right? So she's having this post. She's got a pretty engaged account, right? So, like, all you have to do is just read the damn post. A lot of people just make cool posts, right? We just put thumbs up or an emoji. Just read the post. If this one, like, is not, this is like a really, really good example because she has a long story and everything with it. So, Rebecca, this may be a potential patient of yours if she's not a PT or anything herself, right? So, cool. Right? Go look at this, right? So that didn't really show anything. So she puts a lot of stories and stuff and connecting with her audience, right? And so I would go through there. Oh, so I can see too. Run Florida. So this is another local hashtag that you could use, okay? So you can see what hashtag she uses, right? So I found one person. Let me find some other ones. Tampa, Florida, right? So you can see some others. So she's a running coach, okay? So, okay, cool. This is a good person, maybe a partner to have a relationship with if you're a running PT. So if she's a running coach and you're a therapist helping runners, you guys have a relationship with one another and just like, hey, cool, I see that you're a running coach too. So I can tell like she does a really good job with catching, grabbing posts, headlines, and her story and everything with it. This can be a referral source back and forth. Let's say you don't coach runners, but you help people get back from injury, right? So you can this can be a really good relationship. So Haley, if you ever jump in this, trying to call you out, I don't know Haley at all. I just did this on a whim. So this is the person that you would message, right? Does anyone not know, it's awkward, like, okay, now I found the person, but what the heck do I message them, right? Like, anyone feel that way? And it's still, for me, sometimes, like, uncomfortable because, like, what if they don't message me back? What if they just, like, left me on red? What if they just double tap it and don't do anything, right? And I just want you guys to know that happens to me a lot of the times, right? So with Instagram, I think it's the easiest platform to be able to reach out with people because it's just so easy to create conversations. So like, cool, let's comment on the, hey, like it doesn't, like I don't think that makes you a bad person. I totally agree with you. I totally feel what you're saying as well. Like I have a lot of anxiety being like inside and whatever. Just something little that shows that you read the damn post, right? So, but also we can go back to your story, right? Let's say it's hard to find something to connect with our comments, right? Let's say I don't really have anything to say. I'm a little lost. So let's go and click on a story more.
By Dan Crenshaw.
So she's talking about something here.
Instagram
So story,
no.
right? So if I click on here, send message, right? So I just picked this one because I didn't want her talking and being trying to have us both talk at the same time. But okay, this is something that's funny, right? I kind of come back, blah blah blah. Like I'm just gonna put a laughing face on here, right? So I can do a quick reaction to this. Ha, so funny. And then when I go in afterwards, then I click on her page, right? And then go message her and be like, hey, what's like, or not what? Hey, that's so funny too. Like I'm a Capricorn. I totally feel that too, right? You don't have to, when you just find common ground. That's the biggest thing, is find common ground. So when you continue the conversation, it's a little bit easier. So it's not like, hey, I'm a PT, so I'm going to like work with me if you have any injuries. Like that's not gonna work with. Don't sell in the first message. Don't try to ask for marriage on like the first date, the first time you even meet somebody, right? So go through and just give value. I like this post. I like this a lot. I definitely feel you with that. I see with your point of view. I never thought about that. Things like that, right? So saying like, just giving something positive, right? And then stories make it so easy because so many people just go through and just, haha, this is really funny, or clap, right? Or I totally agree with that, 100, right? So it's just super easy to engage with people nowadays, right? Before it's like DM. I feel like LinkedIn is a little bit harder, but it's like, okay, cool, you threw a meme up there. We all connect with memes, right? I do at least, right? I have a business and a page called Physio Memes. So then I can go on there and be like, hey, like I'm a Capricorn too, and something. Just leave it at that. See what happens when she responds back, right? Like you don't have to go into it and be like, okay, the second message I have to sell my physical therapy that I can help them, right? But just the main purpose of all this is building relationships, right? Thank you, Carrie. Give value, be positive. So all you have to do is just create the first message. There are people that like, I'm gonna get off her thing. I'm gonna go back to just me right now. So with all this, like I've done this to so many people, and all they do is just double tap and like my comment or message and don't ever respond to me back, right? And that's totally okay. But going through with this and finding like quality people, like her. When I say quality people, because I don't know if she's injured. I don't know if she's gonna be injured, right? I'm not trying to go out there and like trip her or anything while she runs, but like you're just building relationships, and then what happens is if she follows you back and she sees that, oh, you're a physical therapist in the area, or you're going to be a physical therapist, or you work with runners, or you run yourself too, right? And she vibes with you, she follows you back. So what happens is when she follows you back and you're engaging back and forth, Instagram, when you follow new people, Instagram's gonna be like, okay, cool, like there's a reason why you like that person, so you probably want to see more of their stuff. They're gonna put your stuff, each other's stuff, if you guys both follow each other back, in front of each other for at least a short period of time, right? Because as you follow more people, things get pushed back. If you guys don't engage, things get pushed back. But what happens is, and then you start posting, and you start doing Instagram stories, and then she's gonna start seeing her stuff, right? So I'm saying she because I'm using Haley as an example, but she's gonna start seeing some of the stuff that you're posting again, right? So then all you have to do is just create a relationship, creating a message, and then just start giving value on your own page. But now you've caught their attention. You have your profile set up appropriately, right? So it says, oh, this physical therapist works with runners. I don't need a physical therapist right now, but let's just see what it is. She's in Tampa too. Like, what if, like Rebecca, right? So Rebecca is going to be moving to Tampa. What if Rebecca wants to have a running group? She's trying to find, hey, are you in a running group? Like, you do running coaching? Like, I was looking for people to run with. I'm just trying to build a community, right? So then I was like, yeah, like, I don't do running group. I know other people that do. Cool. More connections. Oh yeah, I do. Hey, I would love to start back with running group. Right? I know right now, I don't know when we're allowed to go back in person and all that stuff. But let's just say that, right? Or do you do anything that is like a running online like group? Like, do you hold anything like that? Like, just trying to figure, just bring conversation and common ground, right? So if they message you back, like I don't like giving like scripts and stuff, but basically because it's really open ended on what when they actually respond back to you. Just at this point, just be a human, right? Just be a human being and carry conversation. Like don't copy and paste a script into it and totally it doesn't make any sense, right? So use the first thing and just trying to find common ground and saying, hey, what's up? Like they may never message you back. That's totally okay. But if they message you back, what I would do is they're engaging with you. They're part of your audience. Have an Excel sheet of people that starts messaging you back and start following you back, and like potential people that you want to follow up with, right? So you're like, maybe a week down the road, you're like, oh, I'm stuck in my business. I don't have any patience. I don't have anything to do. Like, I don't know what to do right now. Go back to your list and start just follow up with people, just seeing what they're doing. Maybe look at their page, give them some likes and comments, because we're all in the same boat too, right? We want people to pay attention to us. We want people to like our stuff, comment on our stuff, join our lives, like watch our lives, engaging with, like we want that too. So when we give that back to someone else, especially someone who is a running coach and is a business, looks like she's a business owner too, like they want that stuff as well, right? So that's why it's very important to just giving the value first. A lot of times, nothing will ever come from it. But just to let you guys know, like there are people that I've done this with, trying to get conversations. They may say one thing back, and I say something back, they just leave me on red. But then like I make a post about something, like this happened to me like earlier this week or late last week, I can't remember, within the last week, someone messaged me asking me about my PhysioMemes ambassador program, right? So they asked me about my ambassador program, and I was like, looked at the, they messaged me, so I went back up. Oh, I messaged them like 4 or 5 months ago. They never really responded. But now they followed me back because they're like, oh, I'm interested in this page somewhat, right? So they're seeing that. They're like, okay, well, tell me more about this ambassador program. Or tell me more about this. And I was like, oh, I thought they were never going to respond to me again. You never know, right? But they're following you. They start seeing things. So you never know what's going to go. Like, just create conversations and relationships to begin with, right? So I went through hashtags, how to do that, how to talk to people in the DM, because a lot of times when you follow these hashtags, it's which ones do you follow? Like, there's so many different people. I don't want to follow like 200 people at once, right? So it's like, okay, so I usually pick people with Instagram stories. Like, that's the easiest way. People who post consistently. If they don't have an Instagram story, they haven't posted in 4 months, they're probably not active on Instagram. They may not even like open up their Instagram app to respond to you or anything like that, right? So that's like a shortcut of like how to weed people out. Let me find people that are more likely to respond to me, right? Helpful so far? I'll be real, I gotta take. If you have any questions so far, let me know. We're gonna go back. So the second thing, right? Number 2, how to find people, right? Okay, let's say it's hard to find these I'm in such a specific niche, I can't find anything, right? So for me, I say hashtags, right? Finding local hashtags within your niche. If you can combine those two, that is freaking amazing, right? Because sometimes just doing Tampa, let's do this. Hashtag Tampa Bay, right? It's just gonna be a little bit harder, right? It's just anything and everything Tampa Bay. I can't tell who are runners. It's just hard, right? So it's like, okay, cool. Like I don't really know. It's just gonna be a little bit harder. So see how I just typed in Tampa Bay, some other related hashtags. Tarpon Springs, that is a neighborhood around here. Daytona Beach is a little bit further away. Clearwater Beach, that's around here, right? Clearwater, Florida. Bradenton, this is another nook, right? Wesley Chapel, St. Petersburg, Florida, right? Because St. Petersburg might be Russia, right? So St. Petersburg, Florida, FL. So these are other small hashtags I can follow. Like I would follow these hashtags, just people in the niche. All right, cool. Follow that Tampa Bay hashtag. Follow the St. Petersburg hashtag, right? Because some point, some way, shape, or form, like, okay, someone's exercising, doing things. Maybe I'll follow them, right? So let's do this. Running St. Pete. Okay. So with this one, running, I see, this is like one thing I looked at like earlier today, right before this live. So St. Pete Running Company, right? So St. Pete, Tampa Bay, there's like 2 cities, they're like half an hour away from each other. People go back and forth to both of them, right? So let's go to St. Pete Running Company, right? I'm a runner. So what I want to do is they literally have my whole audience in my city. I'm gonna go to businesses in my city that has my audience, right? This is literally the perfect thing, right? If we're CrossFitters, go find all the CrossFit gyms in your city, follow them all, and follow the people that are actively engaging on there, right? So like, don't follow every single. I'm not gonna follow all 5,400 people, right? Like that. At someday maybe you can follow that many people like long term, but like. So who do I weed out, right? So cool. This person has 74, like this Roger Bannister post, right? 4 minute mile, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. 74 likes. There's no comments or anything on this one, right? So, okay, cool. This person here, they have, this is a quick way to scan for, right? They have an Instagram story there, right? Instagram stories. These people are, all right, Katie Rosar, right? Let's click on her page. Okay, she likes to run, do science, eat a lot of peanut butter. All right, cool. You can do the same thing here, right? So this person's local. They have something hashtag. You can go on here. Similar to what I do with the hashtags. You can do the same thing with businesses, right? Okay, cool. Oh, this is again. Instagram stories make this so freaking easy. It has nothing to do with running. Oh, had nothing to do with running. Oh my god, cute dog, right? I can just do that, right? Okay, hopefully I don't delete that, right? I can put a heart face. Oh my god, cute dog. It has nothing to do with running, right? Just creating relationships. Oh my god, yeah, like what kind of dog is that? I can't tell because it's all wet, right? Or anything like that. Just creating conversations. So that's how I find people. So go follow local businesses that people are engaging, right? So she made this post 5 days ago, right? So she may not post as often, but she uses Instagram stories, so she's checking her phone probably every day, right? People use stories, usually check the phone pretty frequently, especially people who have multiple stories, right? So you can see there. This is 13 minutes ago, right? Oh, look at the sunset that just happened here, guys. So there we go, right? I can just put a little heart emoji reaction to that too, right? Do you guys kind of get the pattern of what I'm doing, right? So think about local hashtags in your niche, local businesses, right? So if I would go through like Rebecca, hopefully I tagged her in the video, so hopefully she's going to cast a replay. But literally, this is everything for your niche, right? Brian Broussard, I don't know if he's on. You on here, Brian? You work with runners too. Do the same thing, right? So then, same people, running company, right? Create relationships with them, right? So, especially with Rebecca, I know I'm kind of putting your business out there, Rebecca. Sorry. Forgive me later. But basically, if I'm going to move to a new city and about to start my own business, like, you don't really have anything to sell at this point, right? Like, you're not like selling them like, hey, I'm going to be moving to the area. I'm looking for other running companies, like running shoe stores, whatever it is, right? So same people running company. So like, oh, cool shirt, funny shirt, right? So like, all these things. Hey, like, I want a place to refer, but when I move there, like, like with another B2B, it's kind of easier. Be like, hey, like, love your content, love your stuff. I'm about to move to St. Pete. Just want to see someone like, I just thought you were the first running shoe store that I found. So, like, amazing job with like what you're doing on your page, right? You guys see, like, I'm giving them compliments, building that relationship. This is great things, right? Is it okay if I like stop through your store when I come into town, whenever like it's safe to do this? Yeah, sure. Like, you're building that relationship, right? So then you're just doing that. Okay, creating the stories, same thing, right?
So from there, you'll type in St. Pete.
So I saw this earlier, right? So cool, whatever. Okay, maybe I can't create something, a message from there.
All right, you guys, for our awesome Instagram Stories followers, we just got a new shipment of Gooder sunglasses and an all-new one. It's called The Future is Neon. Wonder Woman. We got them.
Right? So you saw that, right? It was a Wonder Woman. I'm actually probably on my follow. Nah, I'm going to do that for my page. Maybe on my other one. But basically, they have the sunglasses to run with Wonder Woman. Oh my god, I love Wonder Woman. Or like, for me, being a guy, like, hey, do you guys have any other characters? Did you guys have Superman before? Did you guys have Batman before? Do you guys, whatever it is, right? So it's just like creating that initial conversation with people, like just continually just start conversations and finding common ground rather than like copy pasting certain things and be like, just look at one little specific thing that shows that you actually looked at their post rather than like that you're a bot, because this bot's all over Instagram now. So be able to stick out and capture their attention with that. So you follow their followers, right? So instead of like following their followers, right? Because there's so many people, you don't know whatever. But local business probably follow all the local business have local followers for the most part. So people who consistently engage onto other pages, right? So they're doing a giveaway, okay? So this person, these people, I know there are a lot of amazing local St. Pete breweries. Choose how to pick one. So I don't know what they're doing. Give away a local $50 gift card. We're giving away $50 local to independent business of your choice. He said, enter, like this post, tag your favorite local biz. Oh, this is awesome, right? Oh, this is actually a good idea for you guys to do on Instagram. Like, they're supporting other local businesses. Like, they're giving, like, see how they're doing it? That's probably why they have a good amount of followers, too. Like, okay, cool. Let's tag a local business owner. And then it also creates another relationship because you're tagging another business owner, especially on the specific post, right? So then you can see these people comment a lot. So these people are probably active on Instagram in general. So I would probably message these people. I would reach out to these people, start following these people, engaging in their content, sending the same message, right? So you guys kind of get the pattern here, right? So finding people that are engaging, so people that are commenting on posts, people that are having Instagram stories, those are big things that I would go do if I have my own brick and mortar business, especially local stuff, right? If you have an online business, like you can kind of do the same thing, right? So let's say like I'm here in St. Pete, Tampa as well, right? If I want to help other business owners, I can start here. It's just easier of a conversation too. Like if I want to have other people helping out other business owners, I can just reach out to other PT practices in the area too, and just search. I can just Google that as well too, right? You can find it on the Instagram. I can just do physical therapy in St. Pete or whatever, and just finding other businesses that I could potentially create relationships with, even though my business is online. But what happens is like I can potentially, if I don't know where to start, because the online business owners, like I have the whole world available to me, right? Start local still, right? Because it's easier to help people, because if anything, you can meet those people in person, right? I know right now it's after this is all over, but still the same concept. Hey, we're still local, so it just builds a layer of trust when you can meet people. Hey, we'd love to buy you coffee sometime, right? I'd love to buy you, like, go out for a drink, or like, well, I don't know, depending on that, right? So like we can have like talks over a beer, depending like the comfortability with both sides, anything with that kind of feel the situation or whatever. Buy you lunch, right? So that's something that's a little less threatening, and just getting to know one another. Like I would love to learn more about your business, right? So these are things that you can do even if you're an online business owner. You want to do all this stuff, like the same thing kind of applies, right? You're running with runners, you have an online running program. Just go find smaller accounts, find the lower to middle accounts that have engaged accounts, that are posting a lot, that are kind of responding back to you. That's the name of the game, right? So, yeah, so always start local. It just makes things a lot easier because you can always meet them in person. So, like for me, for my business, right, I like to follow a lot of PT students and new grad physical therapists, because that's, where my niche and my avatar is. So, like for me, like I just saw my alma mater, UC, so I went to University of Cincinnati. Shout out to them. And they just started a physical therapy page, right? I know the majority of them are not going to probably ever buy anything from me. The majority of them aren't going to buy any of my shirts. They're not going to buy any of my products. But it's a lower barrier of entry of like comfortability, because we have something in common. I went to UC. I'm a physical therapist. I graduated there. So I can go on their page. One, I just love I just love Cincinnati. I'm just a diehard Cincinnati fan. I just love like living through people who like are still back at home and everything with that. But also, like I just spent 8 years on my college, right? So like I have a lot of relationships with people there, and just like memories, a little bit nostalgic, not just me personally, right? So it's like, hey, cool, just follow. I literally find a post, because how many people are following like a DPT like Instagram page, right? Not many, right? Probably the students there, the alma mater there, and friends and family of the faculty, probably, right? Like other than that, like it's a pretty good niche for me to follow in. If I follow they made a post, all the people that liked it and people that commented on there, like I went to go through and follow all of them, and they're like, hey, send them a small little message for a lot of them, right? But I know the majority of them probably won't ever work with me, and that's totally fine. Right, but I just follow them, so it's easier, lower barrier of entry, because they know I'm a PT, but also I graduated from there too, and so that's how I go about it online as well. So like that, so there's a lot of ways to go about this. So just hashtags, following other businesses, follow other so I guess school is technically a business, right? Universities are businesses, and then just creating non-threatening conversations, non-threatening, just finding something like, hey, I love this about your post, I love this about your page, and just leaving it at that, honestly, and just trying to create relationships. The majority of them probably won't message you back, but like how many patients, how many clients do you need? Like this is what I would continue doing. Those who respond back to me, I have a big spreadsheet of like their names, their handles, the date I messaged them originally. I take notes on what we talked about. If they're appropriate for a certain program that I have down the line, maybe or maybe not. If how many times I've talked to them, how many times I've followed up with them. Like these are I just take notes on, right? Because then you can do the same thing back when you're going through, like, I don't know what to do with my business. I don't know where to find patients. I don't have money to spend on ads. You can do it this way, right? Building relationships this way is going to help you so much of being able to find those clients. So if those of you guys are on, I think I'm starting to get repetitive now. Does that make sense? Of like, do you guys have any questions with this? Carrie, begin a conversation with local businesses, meet up when appropriate, right? We're comfortable. But yeah, any questions with how I would go about this? Like you can do this for any niche. Find smaller boroughs within the communities that you have, right? Like the suburbs, neighborhoods, and anything like that. So if you're like a running store too, like you're probably pretty healthy, like is there a local food store, right? That's something that supplements runners, right? So like that's can go hand in hand. What about clothing stores, right? Like running, like maybe just running shoe store, right? I think that business technically had a little bit more like clothes and stuff, right? But let's say they like, I don't know, I'm not a runner. Like, let's say Lululemon. If there's a Lululemon, like a local Lululemon, maybe you go there, right? Or whatever it is, and just like find ways to build relationships with these local businesses. Even if they're chains, you can still develop relationships with them. But yeah, like these are things like I have a list of like people that I've like worked with, like all those people. Then if like I end up working with them, I just highlight them green that I'm good, that I work with them. But I've like almost 200 people, probably like 300-400 people because I have different sections. One of the lists is like about almost 200 people. But I have people for one product, people for my ambassador program, people for setting up stores, people that want to do X, Y, or Z, right? Whatever it is, people that I've talked to on the phone that like I don't know where they may fit, right? People that are probably whatever it is. I have like lists in the Excel sheet for different programs of people like that I go back to have conversations with, and then like sometimes like it could be quite a few months later. I'm like, hey, but I remember things about them, right? So that's how I would go about it to finding like people in my niche. Like I said, like this is probably one of the best ways to do this. And if you guys don't want to like to type things out, one way is to do a voice message as well. It's a lot quicker. Hey, look, like whatever it is about it, it just feels more personal. If you guys really want to, you can do this on Instagram. I can't remember how long you get. You get 1 minute for audio. I think it's like 15-20 seconds. But I think you can hold it for longer. Maybe in stories, I haven't done this in a while, but do like an Instagram video and be like, hey, I love this about your post. I love this about your business. Shout out to you. Just keep doing what you're doing. Like, something like that, right? And yeah, so that's how I like would go about that. Like I do this in my business as well. And I think the big thing is like, cool, you message all those people, but then like, honestly, in a few days in a week, you're probably gonna forget. You just can't remember everything all at once. So that's why I track it. Just have an Excel sheet, name, handle, date, notes. Like that's all you really need, right? And then, are they appropriate for this program? Are they appropriate for physical therapy? Are they appropriate for this, right? People that they probably have injuries, they're not ready to work with you yet, but okay, cool. In a week, follow up with them. Hey, is that injury getting any better? What are you doing for it? Have you seen anybody for it yet? Oh, you have? Cool. Thanks. Just making sure that you're getting like the right care, that you're improving, good, right? Just continue following up with them. But yeah. So hopefully that was a lot. Actually went a lot longer than I thought. But I told you guys I have an announcement at the end of this. I just have a lot of people like, direct messaging me on here, Instagram or whatever, and just specific things with regards to like their profiles, because everyone in this group is all on different levels, right? Some people just started Instagram. Some people have been doing this for a while. Some people don't know how to post. Some people don't understand Instagram stories and all these different things. So like I have a program that I have. So you guys heard me talk about it a little bit earlier. So my PhysioMemes Ambassador program is what I have done, and my goal with the PhysioMemes Ambassador program started, I think, But this time last year was an idea that I had, but I didn't launch it until like literally the end of 2019. And it was a mixture between like a brand ambassador program and a mentorship program to help people like growing their brand, working on their messaging and working on their marketing, to be able to impact the communities, to be able to reach their communities a lot better, right? Because a lot of people just don't know what the heck we do, and the way I do it is through social media. And I believe the APTA, I believe like our the Florida PTA, the governor's government, that is definitely a crucial key part of moving our profession forward, all the legalities, protecting what we do as physical therapists. But I believe that in order for people to know what we do as physical therapists, it starts in our communities. It starts with us. It starts with reaching out to our friends, our family first, right? Because a lot of times our friends and families don't even know what the heck that we do, and to be able to help the people in our community, right? So if you're working out with with other CrossFitters, but basically, I started that with the brand ambassador program with the mentorship, right? But a lot of people were just DMing me and having a lot of questions and needing a little bit more like Q&A calls and just kind of like deep diving into their Instagram essentially, right? And how to work on the messaging, how to work on their branding. So I just want to let you guys know about that because I haven't really talked about that in this group before, and just wanted to open this up to you guys as well if you guys are interested. In the group, we do weekly Q&As and basically kind of like an office hour setup, so weekly Q&As. There's new monthly trainings that I release every single month that help you with your messaging, that help you with the branding, help you with social media, with marketing. So I do weekly Q&As in that group, basically from the ambassador side, right? So you get this perk with it as well. So if you guys want to, are looking for a little bit more of help and a little bit more mentorship, just because it's just hard for me to honestly just do Instagram audits every single day, looking at stuff, and I don't have as much time with it. So if you guys want a little bit more help, you guys want a little bit more guidance with it, my ambassador program, I'm opening it up to you guys as well if you guys are interested. If you guys want a little bit more feedback and help with your Instagrams, right? So all it is honestly it's $30 a month, right? So it's $30 a month. So that's what, how much would it be to get one patient a month for you guys? What is one patient worth for you guys to be able to get to your clinic, right? For one patient, how many visits are you getting? What is it for a plan of care, right? If I can just help you get one patient a month, would that be worth the $30 a month? But with just the weekly Q&As, with the mentorship and everything with that, so it's a little bit more personalized and everything, having a lot of general information in here. I'm continuing going to serve you guys and everything in here. But if those of you that are looking for a little bit more, honestly, it's just $30 a month. It's a program that I've had already for the ambassadors, but we do mentorship as well. So the reason why I started that is having a brand ambassador program with a mentorship program, trying to combine the two. And for just honestly, for a super small monthly cost, if you guys are interested with that. If not, that's totally okay. But I just haven't really opened that up to this group before. And the other perks that you get with it, with becoming an Physio Memes ambassador, being part of the program, you get a free T-shirt a month. You get or the equivalents of it in the Physio Memes store that I have. You get 20% on commissions with any affiliates. So you become affiliates essentially with my program as well. Like I said, you get the monthly trainings. There isn't one-on-one calls, but if you guys we do weekly Q&As, and if you guys want more help with that, with your Instagram, with your messaging, with your branding, where to go, everything about that, that's what the Q&As and the trainings that I have each month is for, right? Is anyone interested in that? If those of you guys are on live, just comment interested down below, and I can message you guys the link for that. And we can talk a little bit more about it. If you guys have any questions about it, just let me know. But I just wanted to open it up to you guys just because, I have to value and respect my time as well. But that's just another option. If you guys want one-on-one option, this is not for that, but just let me know. We can talk about that as well. But this is not designed for one-on-one. But like I said, it's weekly Q&As. If you're the only one on there, then you technically do get one-on-one time and attention from you, right? But I think that's something I just want to offer you guys. That's the special announcement, and I just hadn't announced that before. But again, so you just to get it's $30 a month. If you pay for the whole year, you get 2 months free, so it's $300 a month. And basically, you get a free T-shirt with it. That honestly, that in itself covers, the cost of the program. Because you get a free Physical Memes T-shirt each month, you get 20% on commissions with affiliates. You get because I'm going to end up increasing the price on this soon with the ambassador program because it is a mentorship program within a brand ambassador program. So I have an offer to you guys just because from the mentorship aspect, if you guys want a little bit more attention with that and a little more help, that's open to you guys. Just put interested down below and I can send you more information about that. But that's something I just want to let you guys know. But thank you guys so much. Hopefully you guys found it helpful and put those into action. Honestly, like just go through, and if you guys are just doing like 5 to 10 people a day, like that's just gonna help you out so much. Being able to create these conversations with people, because that's like after 7 days, that's what 70 people that you're commenting and engaging with and building relationships with. And honestly, it takes you about 20, 25, 30 minutes to do probably a day. But thank you guys so much. You guys all have a wonderful day. And as always, make life humorous. And if you're interested, just reach out to me.